I'm Matt.
I'm Shane.
And if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that thumbs up button real hard, and make sure you subscribe to Comic Movie Marks.
And also click that little bell for all of the notifications.
Whee!
Always remember,
if Trailer Trash can do it,
anyone can do it.
Tight, because Daddy's gonna be Batman now.
That's really, every kid should see their dad as a superhero.
Dad should be a superhero.
It's so awesome,
goodness.
man. I'm so excited.
I am the luckiest guy in the world. Batman is the coolest fucking part in any universe. DC, Marvel, it's incredible. And, you know, I'm so thrilled to do it. I know there's this misconception because I didn't direct it that maybe I wasn't enthusiastic about it. It's fucking amazing. And I still can't believe it after 2 films and have this history with this great studio. And, you know, Kevin Tsujihara and Sue Kroll and Toby Emmerich have said to me, we want you to be our Batman. And, you know, I believe him. And with Matt Reeves doing it, it's like I would be a fucking ape on the ground for Matt Reeves. Never mind being Batman. It's incredible.
I'm not Batman?
hello and welcome everyone to another Comic Movie Marks video.
There was a time above, a time before. There were perfect things, diamond absolutes. But things fall, things on earth. And what falls is fallen. In the dream, it took me to the light. A beautiful lie. Best Batman ever. Thank you, my friend, for blessing me with that fucking glorious chin and an amazing heart.
That's Zack Snyder's quote to Ben Affleck after he officially announced that he is no longer playing the Caped Crusader.
That's supposed to be me crying, because that's what I felt like when I read this. Like, oh, you son of a bitch.
So we got it now. People, for some reason, were still skeptical, even after Ben Affleck pretty much retweets the tweet that says he's not playing Batman. There were some out there that were still skeptical and wanted proof, damn it, proof that he was no longer going to be the Caped Crusader. I don't know what more proof you needed other than him retweeting the tweet that said he wasn't going to play Batman anymore.
Right.
But sometimes people need a little bit more. They need that extra little inch or two to really feel it.
Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't.
It's the motion of the ocean, baby.
Yeah. We even had the Jimmy Kimmel interview. I guess the cherry on top was Zack Snyder's post. Again, if that's not confirmation enough, then you need to be slapped.
Wow, Shane. We have confirmation from Affleck himself now. Now the DC universe continues on. Matt Reeves' Batman continues on looking for a possible younger Batman. I don't know how much I believe any of this shit at this point. Cavill, you know, he's out there too, floating around. So one thing that also did kind of baffle me for a little bit when he said he was talking about his script. You know, he couldn't crack it. Well, then, as we showed in that beginning video, Jay Oliva obviously thinks that he did a very good job, and it was one of the best Batman stories he ever read. Jay Oliva also talked about how it was some of the best Deathstroke and Batman stuff that he ever did, because he storyboarded this, because Jay Oliva, if you don't know, is the storyboard artist for Justice League and a lot of the other DC movies as well, Wonder Woman, Batman vs. Superman, and he also helped Affleck at one point while he was in London, and Affleck was in London as well with his script. And we even see that video with Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. I mean, this was all a culmination of Affleck's script at one point. And somehow he felt he couldn't crack it. And there was like an article in 2016 where he said he wasn't going to put out a mediocre Batman script at all, and he wanted to perfect it. I don't know how much more perfection he really wanted. Jay Oliva thinks it was fantastic. I don't know if what made it mediocre was some of the executives. I mean, there's rumors Jeff Johns kind of brought some of this stuff down on him and made things more difficult for him. So maybe that's what made it mediocre. Jay Oliva even says it's the original script that he did. He didn't see any drafts after that point. Again, he couldn't crack it, or WB wouldn't let him crack it. Chicken or the egg? Which one you got?
And just look how happy he is.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, if you read between the lines a little bit, maybe I'm pulling a little bit too much from this, but I definitely think that he's stating, no, this movie has to be badass. I'm not gonna let you tear it down and make a mediocre Batman film. In his quote, he talks about that he's not going to write or direct anything that he doesn't think is good enough to be made, and he's definitely going to make sure he has something that is special. There's not enough money in the world to make a mediocre version of Batman worth it. Unfortunately, we ended up with a less than mediocre Batman in Justice League, but I definitely like the passion that he has in this article. It's from 2016. You could tell that he's passionate about this character and he wants to do it justice, no pun intended, but unfortunately we never got that. And you could feel kind of the buzz around it, as Matt mentioned, with the Joe Manganiello Deathstroke. There was some stuff that was kind of being put out there. People are still clamoring to that. It's funny how really nothing came of it, and yet we're still like wanting that to be the story that's told. So hopefully Matt Reeves takes this in a solid direction. It's just unfortunate that that Ben Affleck couldn't, bring his version of Batman to the screen.
As I said in one of the podcasts we did recently, I actually kind of think this is the best thing for the DC universe and Affleck. I think he needed to get away from the stress, get away from all the tabloids that are now just focused on him because he is Batman, which is one of the largest pop culture superheroes in the world. I mean, it's probably second or even first when it comes to well-known superheroes in the world. It puts him in the spotlight, and there's just constantly tabloids publishing shit about him, his family, his lifestyle, the guy, if he's fat or not, or if he's drunk. I mean, just constantly berating him all the time. So hopefully this actually gets him out of that limelight for now, and he can actually live his life a little bit and maybe do some pet projects that he's been wanting to do, because I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to direct. And he just wants these small pet projects that he can work on himself. You have Argo, you have Gone Girl, all that little stuff that he did before ever doing Batman. Gone Baby Gone, I think, was another one as well.
Yeah, The Town. Yeah, he had some solid movies that came out that were, relatively low budget, and he had the control. And it's unfortunate when you get to like a big studio that doesn't put trust in one or even a couple individuals. You get too many cooks in the kitchen, and then we have great people like Ben Affleck move on.
Hopefully whoever the next Batman is, which apparently rumored now that it's Armie Hammer, and faster than you could say bat nipples, he crushed that shit.
That role.
No one's ever asked.
I'm asking you right now.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Let me say this. No one who can actually give me the job has asked me if I'm interested. So I don't know. I don't even know if they're done. I think they're still working on a script. Like, it's not, I don't think they're close to production or anything like that. But I can conclusively tell you that no one has checked my availability.
Less than 24 hours, people start rumors about Armie Hammer now playing Batman. Don't forget, by the way, that he was rumored to be Shazam at one point. Then he was rumored to be either a Green Lantern, more than likely Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
And he came back and said no one's ever contacted him. He keeps seeing all these rumors online, but no one's ever contacted him about playing either one. And he was really hoping it was real. And now again, with the Batman thing, he says it again. No one has called me. There is no contact with DC about me playing Batman. It's fascinating how these rumors just get pushed so hard. The power of the internet is amazing because it could just make the dumbest rumors come to life.
I like that even Armie Hammer says, what a bummer. Like, they haven't even checked my schedule. What a bummer. But I also applaud the fact that he came out so quickly and said, no, sorry, guys. A lot of times this will float around for a while, and then maybe even get more detailed. Oh, he's in the running. He's top 3, blah, blah, blah. It's something that we've requested of a lot of people to just come out and squash rumors or confirm or deny. And something that our good pal Jay Oliva, I say good pal, we don't know him, but I feel like I know him. But, he actually comes out and he'll confirm or deny something. And I think it's fucking awesome. So that's something at least that I applaud Armie Hammer for coming out and saying, no, sorry, as almost as cool as it would be. What a bummer that no one's even checked his schedule. So,
and something that came out to my attention from Batfleck leaving is something that and even seeing these rumors with Armie Hammer, it's seeing how fast the internet can work and how easy it is for people to pretend that they're scooping something, that they're pretending to put this new information out there, that they're somehow important. in the cogwork of the DC universe, and that they could put out all these rumors. And we've seen it throughout the DC fandom, throughout the Snyder fandom, mainly since Justice League. People always coming out saying that they have some kind of special scoop, or they're trying to raise money for a documentary, or they went and saw the Snyder Cut down in California. They were on a plane or a bus or a wagon. I don't know. They went all the way down to California and watched this. I mean, there's constant evidence of people trying to manipulate the system, trying to make themselves bigger, make themselves important in the like Snyderverse era, in the Snyder Cut era anyway. And I just want people to really sit back and, it's too easy for people to lie on the internet. It really is. Don't believe everything that someone puts on Twitter or puts on Instagram, because those people...
Or YouTube.
Yes. I mean, hell, don't even believe us. I don't give a shit. Like, if you don't believe us, you don't believe us. I don't care. I don't think we're ever scooping anything. We're not predicting any... Well, I think we've tried predicting a couple things, and we're usually really wrong.
Yeah, well, we fantasy book. I think there's a difference. We say, oh, yeah, this would be cool, kind of thing, as opposed to, oh, this is exactly what's happening. And the best thing that you can go off of would be a source. Like, follow the fucking source. At least if we're reading something, we try to quote somebody.
Right.
Someone's name, not anonymous or Jackoff who wrote some fucking article.
Like a source like Jay Oliva. You can't go wrong with trusting Jay Oliva, a guy that was the storyboard artist for Justice League. Batman vs. Superman worked very close with Zack Snyder. And I don't see how you can argue at all with what Jay Oliva puts out there. And Jay Oliva has even called some of these people out that have been doing these scoops and stuff. Even asking one of these guys, heard it from who? This is the first I've heard of that rumor. The rumor being that they're going to release the Snyder Cut in San Diego Comic-Con 2019. And Jay Oliva's questioning this guy. What rumor are you talking about? If WB was to release it, it wouldn't matter whether or not the later films were a success or not. They would just come out and say they would release it. They'd most likely have Zack make the announcement. That little video we had of Jason Momoa running down WB Studios the hallways, screaming and saying, oh, get ready for this, or you won't believe what's coming. I get Jason Momoa is really excited, and he's not thinking Snyder Cut 24/7. And so many people took that as Snyder Cut stuff. It could be so many different things. And why would they be talking to Jason Momoa about the Snyder Cut? That doesn't make any sense to me. And why would he be the one breaking the news, or at least leading up to the news on a cell phone in WB Studios? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like Jay Oliva says, the announcement would come from Zack Snyder himself. Trust in Jay Oliva. I feel like that trust in Harvey Dent type thing we got from The Dark Knight. Trust in Jay Oliva. Right? I need the poster and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd take that poster or button any day. I don't know if people wear buttons anymore, but I'd take it.
Don't believe some jerk off on the internet that keeps repeating ridiculous stuff. Oh, Ben Affleck's gonna be there. He's gonna direct a Justice League movie, and then less than 8 days later, he confirms he's not Batman. And he's just going off on his own projects. I mean, these people don't have credibility. They don't have credibility. And I really hope that a lot of people use better judgment in the future. And I'm sure some people are going to be angry and they might figure out who we're talking about. But you need to really have better judgment on this shit, because these characters are just going to manipulate the system. And I'm going to kind of go into a little bit of a thing here. It's a wrestling reference, but it's kind of justification here. If you listen to a podcast called 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, or Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, it's kind of funny. Both these guys were heads of each different organization of WCW and WWF at one point. They were creative talent guys. So they did all the structuring, all the plan things to do with these people. They handled them in some manner or the way. There's a guy named Dave Meltzer who reports on all this stuff. And there's other ones as well, but he's the head honcho. He's the guy that gets all the cool scoops.
Yeah, and he's done it for years. He's done it for a really long time.
Decades.
Yeah.
Dude's been around longer than we've been alive.
This type of stuff that we're talking about has been around for a long ass time. It's, pre-internet.
He does get things right. I'm not going to take that away at all. But you'll see a common theme in there that a lot of the information he gets is from lower end guys or people basically wanting to fuck with him. And they'll give him information that has nothing to do with what's going on. He'll report it, and then he'll be like, if it doesn't happen, it's because I reported it, and now the WWF or WCW at the time, now they've changed creative, and they're no longer going to do that now. That's not how that works. If you put resources behind something and you're planning to make this announcement or you're planning to do this stuff, you just don't drop that idea because some jackoff made an announcement or released it and a few thousand people may know about it compared to the millions out there that don't know what you're talking about at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like that. They're not going to do that type of stuff. So that is not a realistic fucking scenario. And I just wish that some people would take a little bit more discretion and just not believe every Tom, Dick, and Harry that puts shit out on the internet. Don't let this stuff get viral. And it's already bad. It's already to a point where people think if you believe in the Snyder Cut that you're fucking unhinged. Let alone whether or not you believe that Christopher Nolan and Ben Affleck are going to go direct Justice League 2 and 3 and all this shit and whatever random other crap that comes up. I mean, that's just insane. And if it is a source, then the person's fucking with them. Just have a little bit more discretion. And I hope in the future that, you know, when someone says they're done, they're done. You know, it's not a question. It's not, you know, play the X-Files music here. It's not a conspiracy. It's done. It's just how Hollywood is. You know, people keep saying Ben Affleck has 1 movie or 2 movies left on his contract. And someone used this in our comment section last time. Zack Snyder was going to do 1 to 2 Justice League movies, maybe 3. And we even used the reference of Hugo Weaving. He signed a multi-picture deal. He only did 1. It's more for the studio's benefit. If they don't want to use the person, they don't have to. That goes for Henry Cavill as well. If he has 1 or 2 movies on his contract, if they don't want him to play Superman anymore, or they just want to skip the Superman series altogether and go towards Supergirl, and then reboot it down 10 years down the line, yeah, he's still Superman, but guess what? In 10 years, if they don't use him, he's not Superman no more. So you could say the cape is hanging up in the closet. You know, I got a motorcycle jacket that's been hanging up in my closet for like 5 years now. Doesn't make me a fucking biker. Doesn't make me a biker at all because my fucking motorcycle's broken down. But it doesn't make me a biker. Just like Henry Cavill can have that cape hanging up in his closet, as his publicist said, doesn't mean he's ever going to pull it out of the closet, if you know what I mean.
I'd come out of the closet for Henry Cavill.
You would do a lot for Henry Cavill that we can't talk about on even a rated R podcast.
Right.
We'll get hit with the triple X.
And in case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. You're one of very few to make it to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Movie Marks Podcast and hit the notification bell. You know, all these fucking YouTube channels say this shit, so I'm going to say it now.
Yes, it's perfect. And if you want to hear our full podcast, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or any other podcast subscription service.
Make sure you subscribe. Thanks again.